Hi, and welcome back to Cooking In with Joycelyne. Today, I'm the mermaid Oceana, and I brought my favorite King Neptune. King Neptune, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready, willing, and able. I am King Neptune. I need no
Be careful where you point that. You could damage the goods.
Sorry about that there, Oceana.
Okay. Well, today we're going to do something with tuna fish. So, tuna fish is rather inexpensive. This was just $1.99, and it will serve about 4 people. So, I'm going to wipe, this is a dampened cloth, and I go around the edge to get dirt out, and then King Neptune, will you open that?
You go around this edge here?
No, the edge is along the edge.
Oh,
that's the center.
Ah.
The edge is here, and I take my fingernail and I go around.
And what does that do?
Gets the dirt out.
Ah.
For instance, when you have cans that are in the supermarket, you don't know how long they've been there. You see the dirt? You would be eating that.
My God.
Yes.
That is dirty.
Well, you don't want to eat that. So if you don't,
dirty. I had no idea.
well, if you don't clean that, then you're going to put that right into your food.
Oh my God. That's horrible. How many people know that?
Well, now, quite a few. And we're going to put some celery for crunch. So I'm going to show you how to cut the celery so that you could get pieces of it quickly instead of just cutting it, dicing it. I make the little pieces of it like this, and then I just start cutting it like this. Little tiny pieces, not too big. So, have we opened it? Okay, now that you've opened it, we're going to drain it because do you see all this liquid? We don't want this liquid in it. So we're going to use this top of the pan and we're just going to go like this. So that way we don't need a strainer, right? Simple. We get the water out because we don't want, you can hold this and let it drain while I'm cutting the celery. Hold it. There you go. Just let it drain.
Yeah, I give it kind of a squeeze.
Well, don't squeeze it too much, but go ahead.
Get all of it out of there.
Okay, so then I'm going to cut the celery up. You know.
And you notice I didn't cut the can all the way so the lid stays there and allows me to put pressure on it.
Yes.
Without losing the lid.
Good idea.
Thank
Look at
you.
how much of water is in there, right? Okay, so now to get that open, you take the edge of your knife and lift it up because you don't want to cut your finger. See? And so we're going to put that in. Now it's smashed, so we have to use this.
I crushed it. That's why it's
With
hard coming out.
Your mighty muscles. Okay, so I'm taking out this. Good. Okay. Then we can recycle. And then we're going to add some of the celery that I just chopped up. And depending on if you want to, of course lemon is important. Lemon gives it a nice tang.
Oh, no, why do you mix the lemon with the tuna?
For flavor.
Ah.
Mighty Neptune, do you want to squeeze that a little?
Sure, you don't want to get it splashed all over you.
No, I want to add more celery while you're doing this. Now, if you like, that is great. Alrighty then, that's good. Thank you so much. I'm going to put some mayonnaise. So, I would say about a half a cup, third a cup, a half cup. Depends on how you like it. It's all a matter of personal preference. That's good. Thank you so much. Okay, do you want to stir that? And if you want, this is the onion. This is a red onion. The red onion is milder than the other onions when you're going to eat raw onions. So I'm gonna add just some of this, and I've already diced it.
Oh God, I love onions. They're just so good for you.
Antioxidants. Now for a fun crunch, I take a gala apple or any kind of apple that's crispy, and I put a little of that in. That's kind of an unexpected ingredient. It also is great in potato salads. Remember that time I made the potato salads? The apple.
An apple a day.
It's got quercetin. Quercetin is
The doctor away.
an antioxidant as well. So I cut it across this way, and then I just cut it like this. I like to have smaller pieces because it's more interesting to be eating all these different flavors. Put this there. Let's see how that looks. Do you want to stir that too? And this is another surprise. This is dried cranberries.
Cranberries. I understand these come from bogs that were swamps or glacial
They were glaciers.
glaciers.
And they were made deep, and then the water made it ideal for growing cranberries in Northern America.
Kind of swampy.
Well, yeah. Have you seen the water commercials with the guys in the cranberries? Anyway, yes, so it's good for our oceanic seafood. Doesn't that look delicious?
Sure does. Smells good too.
Now, I thought what we'd do is make a melt with it. So I've got this bread. I'm going to go over to my stove, and we're going to turn on. I'm going to add a little bit of butter. Melt that in the pan. And then I'm using this, any bread you like. I just have this healthy seed bread, which I think is so good. And so I'm going to take first 2 slices of it, and it's very soft right now, but I'm going to take this and melt this. It's kind of like a grilled cheese sandwich is what I'm making, but I'm adding the tuna, so it's going to be delicious. So I'll put that in here. 2 more pieces. And cheese. I take 2 pieces, 1 on each side, right? I'm making 2 sandwiches.
What kind of cheese do you have there?
It's just American. You can use Swiss. You can use
Cheddar?
whatever. Yeah.
Oh.
You can use whatever you have.
Okay.
But what I do is, my secret is, after this gets hot, instead of putting the cheese in now, I wait till this is browned, then I turn it over and I put the cheese on the hot toast side.
Oh, so it melts in.
Yes, because you want
Good
melt.
idea.
The best thing about the cheese is the melted part.
Yeah.
And also what's good in this is avocado is great too.
Avocados?
You can put avocado, and you could put, whatever you have, what you like, but, and some people like to put relish.
Relish? Really?
Yes.
Cheese, avocados, relish? Wow.
I mean, it's like you can change it up, because that's the beauty of cooking, is that you want every time you eat to be a surprise. You don't want to eat the same thing. If you don't have cranberries, I've done raisins. Raisins are good too. All different kinds of things can make it delicious, and I think it's more fun if you don't know what the surprise is, so when everybody eats, they're surprised.
Oh, and eating is fun.
Of course. So now, do you see how that's browned? And I
yes.
put the cheese right on this.
Yes.
And so the same thing here. So the heat will melt that. And it just, I love it when it's all gooey. Okay, so then once this side, but we're going to put the tuna on this side. Hand me the plate, please. So what we're going to do is, now that this side is toasted, we're going to let that cook. Not too much. Keep it right in the center. And then we're going to go over here And now it's hot on the other side. So we're going to put the tuna salad on this side. Also, you can add tomatoes. I mean, it's just so wonderful to be able to put whatever you have in the kitchen, and according to your taste, whatever you like, so that everybody doesn't get bored. Variety is the spice of life, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Doesn't that look great? Okay, so then now, see some of these chunks, just saying, see that chunk?
Yeah.
It would be better if you separate it, see, like that, instead of making big chunks like that, because the flavor needs to be throughout. Just a little handy hint. Okay, there's that. Now, we're going to turn this over. Perfect timing. There. Now, to finish this off, what I do is put this back so this side gets toasted. So I'm going to put this in here. And then put this in here. So then you have a totally hot sandwich that's crunchy on both sides.
Oh, good idea.
Doesn't
Very
that
good
look
idea.
great?
Toasting it on the other side too, sure.
This is a little extra. Okay, so now, some other things that you could do is put this same tuna salad. You could just actually add an egg to it if you want to make more protein, and make a salad. You could just put it on a bed of greens, and so that becomes a meal in itself.
Now, when you say an egg, I'm assuming you want
Hard-boiled.
hard-boiled.
Yes.
Okay,
Good call.
thank you.
Now, another thing you can do is use it on crackers, rolls. You can make all kinds of different things with just using your basic tuna salad. And it's inexpensive, and you can keep it in your pantry. You don't have to refrigerate it, so that's wonderful.
Well, these would be great just for if you're packing a kid's lunch. My God, you're sending your. This is better than the stuff they sell at the schools.
I'm trying to fit this.
A lot more nutritious. Well, you spilled some there.
Well, it's still a lot. I can fix it. I'm just trying to get it on the plate. It's too hot. There. This one's good. That one I have to add more to on the other. Okay, this one is perfect. This one, it still has a lot. I did put too much, maybe. So then, to make it attractive, you can also cut it at an angle. And then you can see the roasted. So I think somebody wants to try this.
I think somebody has to try it too. Oh, dear God.
Does this pass the Neptune test?
My God, this is good.
Okay, now so let's go over the ingredients. Tuna, mayonnaise, celery, onions, optional, cranberries, and cheese if you want to make a tuna melt. So I hope you enjoyed our little recipe. I think you are. Do you see how it's all melted now?
This is the best I've ever eaten.
So, thanks for joining us on Cooking In with Joycelyne.
And Neptune.
Welcome to some quick tips from Cooking In with Joycelyne. Today I brought a special guest, Mr. Crystal Man.
Hi there, Joycelyne. Yes, I am Crystal Man, a time traveler from the 23rd century.
Well, Bill, I thought I would show you some ideas on what to do with berries, because this is the very nice season, isn't it?
Oh, it's a wonderful season.
Well, normally I suggest you don't wash your berries unless you're going to use them right away. That's the way people normally, cause berry rot, because the moisture makes the berries soft. However, there is another little hack which I wanted to show you. You can take vinegar and you would pour 1 part vinegar
1 part vinegar. Okay.
to 3 parts water.
3 parts water. All right.
And there's microscopic mold spores, which a lot of people don't realize that are in the berries, and that's what causes them to spoil. So you just take your berries and you give them a little bath and throw them into, I've got some strawberries, I've got some blackberries, and I've got some blueberries. So I'm just going to soak them in here for a little bit. Now, mostly people keep their berries in a very tight, there's no air, and it doesn't let them dry out. So what I suggest is you get a little bigger container and line it with some paper towels to absorb the moisture. Put the paper towels here after your berries have been soaked.
How long do you soak them for?
Just like this, just
Oh,
give them a
just
little
couple,
bath.
just a couple of minutes. That's it.
Yes,
Well, that does it.
and then just put them here.
That gets rid of all the microscopic mold.
Yes, and then you can also rinse them just before you use them if you want to get rid of, a slight acid that might be there. So then you can let them dry like this, and this will keep them aerated and dry, because instead of putting this on, just kind of loosely put it on top so that the air lets them dry.
Now, is that going to have any effect on the taste of the berries with this
No.
this stuff here? No, it doesn't
No,
affect
because
it.
I said, remember, you could rinse them again if you wanted to.
Look at, well, I'm just curious.
Yes. And so afterwards, you can use your berries to make jam, half sugar, full sugar and full berries, or with a water slush. And you can cut off if there's any bad parts, and you can freeze them or use them for smoothies. So that's a quick tip today on what to do with your berries.
Well,
See
thank
you
you
next
very
time.
much, Joycelyne. This is wonderful. Can we eat the berries now?
Of course.
Yes,
See
I
you
like
next time.
fresh berries.